Hey everyone, how's it going? My name's Cloud, and welcome to my personal VOD reviews of Locals. In this episode, we'll be taking a look at Game 3 of Week 2 of the OP10 Meta, where I play Green Yellow Yamato versus Green Uta. Here's the deck list that I played in this match, and if you haven't already done so, please go check out the Locals retro video I made that covers this deck list and my overall thoughts on how Locals went this week. Without further ado, let's hop into the game. Alright, we've got game number 3 for week 2 of the OP10 Meta post-ban. I'm playing Green Yellow Yamato versus Green Uta. I was actually really surprised to see a Green Uta here. It's been a while since I've seen this leader around. I think some of the meta report videos I've seen were saying that Green Uta was potentially a sleeper deck. Maybe just because the 8-cost kid is coming back into relevance a little bit. But I don't think there were that many new cards for Uta to use. We'll see. Just gonna ×2 this to get by the initial shuffling here. And thank you, opponent. We were talking about my YouTube channel that I just recently started and he subscribed. I'm glad that you're supporting me. Thank you. But okay, finish shuffling. And then let's slow this down again. Go for the dice roll. I roll as usual, 2 dice, and I roll a 10. My opponent also rolls a 10. I think it was a 5 and a 5. I roll another 10. What you can do now? He rolls a 6. Okay, so I end up winning the dice roll, and I'm pretty sure I picked first. Just want to be able to start pressuring as soon as possible. Let's look at our opening hand, our first hand here. We get 4-cost Basil Hawkins, 5-cost Nami, 4-cost Negomamushi, 2-cost Onami, and 3-cost Raizo. I don't have too many thoughts on this opening hand. Nothing really stands out. Nothing's really particularly bad either. These are all counter cards, so I have a total of 5k counter in hand, which is not bad. Pretty decent. I have Onami, which is one of the early game options. Not my preferred one, but it's still better than any of the other ones. Just gives me banish on my potential double attack. We do have the Basil Hawkins and the Negomamushi. Both of these are not bad to play when I'm at 5 Dawn or so, going first. So just some mid-game options there. Nami could potentially come into play if I need to trash one of these trigger cards. In fact, they're all trigger cards, which is pretty good. To potentially KO one of their bodies at 5 Dawn. But, it's an okay hand. Let's see if I decide to keep it or not. I decided to go for the mulligan. Alright. Speed through this. No comments here. Sorry. I gotta get better at filling in the gap. But okay, shuffling is done. Getting ready to put out my 5 cards, set up our lives. I'm gonna get ready to pause the video to just see what our starting hand's gonna be. So, fist bump to start the game, and let's just quickly take a look at our hand. We've got 4-cost Basil Hawkins, 2 3-cost Mihawks, 1 2-cost Tonoyasu, and 1 2-cost Onami. And already, I'm loving this hand way more. So, you should know how much I like Tonoyasu, so seeing this in hand is beautiful. Just means that I can just instantly go up to a very high number near the game. Not only that, but if I could chain it with Nami, if you watch my game 2 for week 2, you'll know that I was able to do a really big swing with double attack banish, so that's very nice. And then also the fact that I have two 2Ks here in the Mihawks is really, you know, comforting. Just knowing that I have some cards to defend with. But also, I did hit the Basil, which is a slash character, meaning that it does work with Mihawk. So this, to me, is one of the best hands I could have started with. No Hody Jones, but that's fine. So, started the game. I'm going to go 1 Dawn, pass the turn. When it goes 2 Dawn, draws 1 card. They're at 6 cards in hand now. He passes, I draw 1 card. I drew another Tonoyasu, which is great. I'm just gonna go 8k swing here, keeping my hand healthy. No need to really play the Tonoyasu if I don't feel like I need to be that quick. He gives me 2 2ks. Wow, going down to 4 cards already in hand. That's fine with me. I mean, they still have 5 life. I would have ideally liked them to be down at 3 life by now, but the fact that he gave up 2 2ks is really good. 4 Dawn, draws to the turn. Whoops. Looks like for this game, I didn't get much of their hand size. That's not bad. So they have 5 cards in hand. I'm still working on the camera angle. Sorry. I'm at 6 cards in hand. They're gonna tap 1 Dawn, attach it to leader, go 6k at me. I instantly 2k, you know, want to stay healthy. They still have 5 life, so want to be able to keep the life up for potential triggers. They pick the 2k off of the leader ability from Uta, and then they play a Charlotte Katakuri. If you're not familiar with Uta, I'll put it up on screen right now, and then you can read it. 2 Dawn, I play Tonoyasu. This is when I definitely want to be pressuring my opponent's life, so we're gonna tap 2 to go plus 3k. Then I'm gonna tap another 2. Oh yeah, let's do it. We go Onami, giving my leader banish, and then I attach my last Dawn to make it a 4k double attack banish to my opponent's life. That's crazy. 4k, or sorry, 9k. Whoops, let's rewrite this. And let me pause first. So yeah, this was a beautiful play. Again, Yamato's goal should be trying to get my opponents down to 3 life as soon as possible. So what I did was Tonoyasu for 2 Dawn. I'm able to give my leader plus 3k. Then for another 2 Dawn, I give banish. And then for my last Dawn, because this is my 5 Dawn turn, I go plus 1k. So now my leader is a 4k double attack banish going to life. He just gave up the 2k counters in his hand. And the fact that he played 1 card, I mean, he just cycled 1 card, so he should still be around 5 cards in hand. But that's a lot of pressure. He instantly just takes it, trashes those 2 life. And to me, that was a great play. Now I'm again in the comfort zone. I'm at full life still. They're down to 3. So now I can be comfortable taking my life because the deck is built with trigger bodies, so I'll be just trying to trigger out some characters. 4 cards in hand. He's at 6 Dawn now. He decides to go 7k at my leader, using leader ability to reveal the top, and it is a film card. And there we go. It is a Raizo. Raizo's trigger ability just lets him be played if my opponent's at 3 life or less. Just play it out. And then he plays Uta, 4 cost blocker. And then because he has 6 rested characters, he can attack with Charlotte Katakuri, which gains plus 2000 for the turn. Since I'm already looking at the card, I'll be sure to put up the card in the video. So 6k at my leader. I could counter out with Mihawk to go up to 7. And I decided to just take it. Oh yeah, this is the dream. I get to trigger out another body. This is the 4-cost Kikunojo, which just has the same trigger ability as Raizo. If my opponent is at 3 or less life, play this card. Now I'm at 7 Dawn with 3 characters on board plus leader, 5 cards in hand. They have 1 blocker. Unfortunately, I don't have anything in hand that would let me rest the blocker. But let's see what we do here. We're gonna tap 6 Dawn and we're gonna play out Nico Robin. I'll put that up on the screen. Nico Robin just says on play, if my opponent is at 3 or more life, I can trash the top life. So that brings them down instantly to 2 life. They have, I think I'm asking for cards in hand. They have 6 cards in hand. We're gonna go 6k at their life. He gives me a 2k. I'm gonna use leader ability. Go another 6k at my opponent's life. Down to 5 cards in hand. Gives me a... Okay, he blocks for 6k and then gives a 1k counter. And then I just do 6k double attack on my opponent's life. And yeah, he was telling me at this point, he thought I attacked with leader first. So that's why he gave the 2k counter. So that was a misplay on his end. But yeah, that was 3 6k swings. So he would have had to give up a lot of cards. At least 3 2ks. Or some 1ks in there. Very good turn. Just pause real quick. This card right here, this Nico Robin, it felt great in this game. Against 5 life leaders, if I double attack with my leader, I bring them down to 3 life. Then dropping this Nico Robin around the 6 to 7 Dawn turn just means they instantly go down to 2 life. And if I'm able to get another attacking with my leader, that's down to 0. So it just applies so much pressure to my opponent to be able to start defending out of hits. And the fact that I was able to get those trigger bodies out early just means I have enough characters on board to continuously, you know, attack his hand or attack his life. He spends 1 Dawn to play, what is that? New Genesis. I believe that lets him look at top 4 for a film card and then lets him restand a Dawn. He takes the blocker. He should have restood his Dawn. There we go. There it is. I got no Dawn up, 4 cards in hand, I believe, still. 4 cards. He plays... What is that? He spent 7 Dawn to put down 2 more blockers. Wow. Really afraid of losing, I guess, next turn. Wish he should be, since I have a pretty wide board. 1 Dawn up. Oh yeah, I was just asking why he still has 1 Dawn. I forgot that New Genesis is able to let him restand 1 Dawn, so... Again, it has been a while since I've seen Green Uta. Well, let's see what he does with his last Dawn. And if he decides to leave that last Dawn up, that's where this Raizo comes into play. When attacking, I can trash 1 card from my hand to be able to rest my opponent's Dawn. So, who knows if Uta has a one Dawn counter event, but at least I'm prepared for it. He used up all his Dawn, so that means he only has pretty low swings here. He does 6k to Raizo. And I'm like, okay. He reveals a film card from the top of his deck, so he gets to draw that. And now I'm wondering, do I let the Raizo go or do I counter out? Thinking. I decided to let it go. Okay. It would have been nice to keep more bodies on board, but I guess I just didn't want to give up the cards. It's a very interesting play. I think I gotta see what I do after this. I forgot, but right now I'm thinking maybe I should have just countered because it means I would have had more characters on board to attack next turn. But he does still have the Charlotte Katakuri. He could have just done another 6k at Ryza, which means I just countered for no reason if the card was gonna die anyways, so that's fine. Oh, hit my camera there. He trashes 2 cards. Oh, okay, that's right. So he goes... Yep. So I'm gonna put this Uta, these 2 Utas on screen. And give me a second to pull it up on the side here for myself. So this Uta comes from the Starter Deck 16 that recently came out. It says, activate main once per turn. You may trash 1 film card from your hand. Give up to 1 Rested Dawn to your leader or one of your characters. So he used both of them. Trashed 2 cards here. It was the... what is that? Damn, not familiar with a lot of these events. Give me 1 second. I'm not going to put this one up on screen. I'm just going to read the name since he just trashed it. Gotta find it first. It is the... I'm Invincible. Yep. I'm Invincible. And actually, he trashed the Hody Jones, which I'm now seeing that he could not do that. Because that Uta that I just put up on screen says that you have to trash a film character. I'm gonna double check here. Yep, you have to trash 1 film card. So he couldn't have done that. So technically he should have been only be able to, excuse me there, only been able to attach 1 Dawn unless he had trashed another card. I must have not caught it. I was just trusting my opponent here. I thought it was just trash any card from hand, but it's specifically got to be film. That did not work. But he goes 8k at my Kikunojo, and I decide to counter out for a 2k and a 1k. So I guess it worked out in the end that I decided to not counter out for the Raizo. It meant that I had enough counter in hand to protect the more important character, Kikunojo. My turn, I draw for turn, go up to 9 Dawn, and it is a 2k counter. And since he's got no life, it's now a numbers game. He only has 4 cards in hand. So let's let this play out real quick. Actually, no, I want to talk about it before it happens. So for anyone new, this is potentially how you can do some, math for yourself. But if my opponent, my leader's at 5k power, right? If I attack 5k, so let's say this is my opponent, this is me. If I attack 5k, it only takes 1 card to defend, right? If I attack 6k, at minimum, it also only takes 1 card. It takes a 2k counter. If I attack 7k, it takes 2 cards because it's got to be at minimum a 2k and a 1k since he has to go up to 8. And then, if I go 8k, again, minimum 2 cards because it can just be 2 2k counters. And you kind of get the pattern there, right? Every odd number would mean that it's the minimum amount of cards. And then every even number just means that they would have to give up at least 2 2ks. Or not 2 2ks, but 2ks in order to match the minimum number of cards. So he has 4 cards in hand. And I have, so let's say 4 cards in hand. No life. This is the important part. He has no life. So if I want to, before I say that, I have 1, 2, 3 attackers. So even though he does have 3 blockers on board, I'm just going to ignore the blockers and try to pressure him into either giving up cards or just blocking, right? So if I attack 7k with my Nico Robin here, which I did, I'm telling my opponent, you have to give up 2 cards in hand or a blocker, right? Since his blockers are only 6k. So if he gives up the 2 cards, then my next attack, if I do another 7k, he has to give up 2 blockers or 2 cards in hand or a blocker. And then again with my leader, I can do another 7k. He'd have to give up his last blocker, right? He has no more cards in hand if he decided to give up all his cards, or he would have to just give up the blockers. So I'm just pressuring his resources here. I'm not worried about losing next turn, really, because, you know, after this attack, he'd either have to give up cards in hand or blockers. So that's what I'm doing here, and let's see how it plays out. 7k, he blocks. Another 7k. He blocks again. And so this is telling me that he might not have counter in hand, so I decided to attach 4 to my Nami to go another 7k. He blocks, and I only have 3 Dawn left, but I have Tonoyasu, which means I play Tonoyasu. Trash him to give my leader +3, and now I'm going up to 9k, and so now I'm telling him you have to have 3 cards to counter out. So he only had the 2k fist bump, and I won the game. So yeah, he was telling me that he thought the attack earlier was my leader, and my life was a Kikunojo, a Tonoyasu, and my last card on the top of my deck was Kikunojo. So pretty good game for me. Unfortunate for my opponent, but that's how a Yamato game usually is supposed to go, or at least the way I build it. I like to get that aggro in. So that's gonna do it for this episode. Thanks for watching. Until next time, remember, keep your minds fresh and your spirits free. See ya!